Hey everybody, welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
I'm Alison Rosen from MySonIsOnMyLap.com. Don't buy that one. Don't even Google it. I just realized something. I feel like there's going to be something bad. I'm Alison Rosen from AlisonRosen.com.
There you go.
And I'm Daniel Quantz from DanielQuantz.AlexRobinson.fun.
Oh boy. I might be able to set that up. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think that one's taken already.
I think I have to buy it from Alex. I don't know. We'll see. Well, thanks for coming back, you guys. And
Sure.
We're here today to talk about minute 92.
The best minute.
92 of The Last Jedi, episode 8 of Star Wars. Minute 92 starts with Finn dumping out a trash can, and it ends with Rey telling Ben that he will not bow before Snoke. He will not. He will not.
He will not.
Will not, he shall not, he cannot.
And he does not.
Mm-mm. He kneels, but he doesn't bow, I don't think. And so
Right.
we'll have to keep track of that. But so he's like, Jedi are all about technicalities.
Curtsies. There's not enough curtsying in Star Wars.
That's true.
Not much bowing either, though, is there?
No.
I think when Vader first kind of contacts the Emperor via hologram, he gives like a full bow first.
Oh.
But
Doesn't he? Or does he just go right? Does he just take a knee?
it's a knee with a bow. A knee with a bow. A knee with a bow, the bounty hunter who was my first note is, as a former sanitation officer, Finn has got to really kind of be in pain about just dumping out a trash can on the ground right there. I know when I go into a bookstore and things are out of order, I'm like, come on, what's going on here? Come on, guys, we got to do this. And I can't let my family put a book back on a different shelf than they took it from. So going into somebody else's ship and just dumping the trash on the ground, I got to be like, oh, wait, he was in sanitation. That's got to hurt him.
And
Yeah.
what
Could
is
go the other way. Maybe this is his one last FU to the man.
Oh,
You know,
could
he's
be.
like, you know what? I'm gonna knock this little garbage can over and knock out these 2 pieces of plastic.
what would be in that trash can, by the way? That place is pretty spick and span. I noticed
True.
I tried to slow it down. There's like a blister pack or something. So someone was
Yeah.
Space garbage. Yeah.
space garbage. Yeah.
Somebody just got like new headphones delivered or something.
They should have put like a paper plate with some, pizza sauce or something
Oh,
on
yeah.
there.
Well, make the garbage
know
a
what-
lot more messy.
Yeah.
Like
It
dental
should've been-
floss
Oh, yeah.
rolling out. Doesn't it seem like Elon Musk would be at home in that super modern evil spaceship?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing feels like the inside of a Tesla, which I don't know if I've ever been in, but how I imagine it.
Yeah.
So I think we should go through his garbage and find out what kind of stuff is in there. So
Right.
then we'll figure out what would
Yes.
be in the garbage on a Star Destroyer. like
Yes, just like cue cards from SNL
that. There you go.
and also dental floss. I think I just find floss to be some of the most disgusting trash.
Well, it does,
More so than like organic matter, like rotten food or something.
Yeah, there's like chunks of food. Well, it's also, here's the thing. Our trash can, unlike the super clean BB-8 trash can disguise, we just have like a trash can that doesn't have a top. So our dog will periodically go in, and then I'll just find like a Q-tip and dental floss in the middle of our bedroom floor, and I find it to be gross.
Mm.
Yeah, that's not gross.
Thank you. I feel seen.
Well, then I have questions now about, do you think the First Order composts?
Oh, hell
Do you
no.
think all their organic matter? No. Do they have
No.
any organic? Like,
They don't even recycle.
As far as we know.
Well,
I
They
mean,
don't
I
even.
think
They don't even be kind rewind.
Look,
That's
we-
how
actually
rude
do.
they are.
we don't know what the fuel is that they're running out of. So maybe the fuel, it's like
Oh.
some sort of Back to the Future situation where
Hmm.
they've learned to turn garbage into fuel. You know what I mean?
Right. Admiral Fusion.
I think the First Order has factories specifically just to make garbage. You know what I mean? Like that's how evil they are.
Right.
They're just
Yeah.
generating useless trash.
I want to say,
for-
like,
for its
I
own sake.
I bought the Force Awakens art book,
Mhm.
and the original designs for Jakku seem to be based on those Chinese, like, the places where all the old tech goes, and there are these big stacks of just like old broken down computers and rivers of contaminated water and stuff. And I just got to throw this out there because who else am I going to tell this to? My wife?
Please no.
She doesn't even know what I'm talking about. That would have been better than another desert planet. It looked really cool. I always wondered why
planet.
What's that?
Like a junkyard planet.
Yeah, but like living inside a planet that's basically like a mile of junk. You know what I mean? Like it's just all junk and rivers of contaminated acidic water and stuff.
It is unusual that they did just basically a stand-in for. It's like, it's another Tatooine. It's like a lot like Tatooine, except it's not Tatooine.
You had something
unusual?
on deck.
It seems very usual to me.
Yeah, it's true. It is Star
They brought
Wars.
back another Death Star. They brought back all these characters.
It does seem okay. So we have walked through Star Wars land at Disneyland twice, and as a as the outsider perspective here, I'm just like, why is everything so dusty and earth toned?
That's what Anakin's wondering.
That's what that seems to be the color palette of choice. And I say, hey, spice it up, people.
That's one of the things that is noted. The Star Wars look is that kind of lived in look, but it's only half of the, half of the vibe there. Cause it's, you also, the whole time you've had the Empire rather, and then now the First Order looking very sleek and clean and polished and all that. And I would like another area. I'm with you. I'd like another area that's more clean and polished, and I want to live in that. Everybody knows I've got a thing for Imperial officers, so I would like to go live in that zone for a little bit.
How do you feel about Kinko's? Because I actually hate being inside of Kinko's, but that's all clean like the Imperial,
I don't think I've been in a Kinko's in a really long time, so I don't.
Long time.
Neither have I, but it seared itself into my memory. Sorry if I'm a little bit scattered, you guys. I got the full child onslaught, and then now he's back in, and I'm just adjusting.
Yep. All right.
I think the last time I was in a actual copy shop, it was King Co's, which was on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. There was it was a mom and pop copy shop that was it was King Co. COE.
That's funny. I like that.
It was pretty good. A little bit, dusty, not so antiseptic, kind of super clean. So I felt a little more comfortable there.
Well, speaking of garbage cans, they overflip the garbage can and they put it on BB-8's head, and he spends the next week or so in this garbage can.
See, I was fine. I like these little comedic things. I don't know how divisive these things are, but except for the bit with Poe in the beginning, maybe one or two other jokes, I'm cool with just the silliness.
I think it kind of works out, like we've said this before, but like everyone agrees there's like 15% too many jokes, but no one can agree on, okay, well that's the one that everyone has ones they like and dislike, so it's impossible to get any consensus as to, well, they should have taken that joke out, So,
everybody thinks it's a little bit too much, but what that too much is, nobody has the same.
Right.
Very few people overlap. Although the prank call at the beginning is a popular candidate for deletion.
Yeah.
Honestly, if they did away with just even that one, I might have been okay with everything else. Because that one just it doesn't feel consistent with the universe, like on hold. What? So it just seemed like a joke out of another thing, but I'm sure you've been over that already.
Well, one joke that we see here, which might have gone past the heads of newbies, is BB-8 does an imitation of the mouse droid from the original Star Wars. He does that same kind of that kind of sound. So
I definitely didn't catch that.
That's
it's an imitation of who?
There was a little droid in the original Star Wars. Maybe you remember it. Where there's a little droid walking around and it sees Chewbacca and Chewbacca roars at it and it goes and like scoots away really fast.
Oh.
BB-8 is making the same noise that droid was making.
Daniel, did you get that?
No, but that's really smart of BB-8.
Yeah, he's
like deep cover.
Yeah.
I like when we see evil BB-8, who looks like a Roomba on top of a radio. I liked that a lot.
I love the design of stuff. I mean, like the art, the people at ILM and all of they're just top of their game. I think that's great stuff. Although I did wonder, like, they made a point that droid, is that this minute? That's this minute, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They made a point that droid spotted our heroes, but that doesn't seem to be the thing that gets them caught. So why even have that beat? You know what I mean? Because it's like they're caught because DJ is gave them up,
Rats
not
them
because
out.
the droid
Yeah.
found them.
Well, it did get me wondering as we go on it, because it doesn't happen. Them getting caught doesn't quite happen this week, so we'll have opportunity to talk. No,
maybe
it's okay.
they get caught. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yep.
But it did get me wondering, when does he have time to sell them out? Because it
especially because
seems
it takes him so long to say everything.
Well, when on rewatch, I think what I figured was that this probably happened back on Canto Bright. That what he suggested is
Bite,
they found
honey.
us.
It's Canto Bite.
She's got you there.
It really doesn't matter.
That's 1-0.
That whole place does not exist to me. So Canto Bite, like, there's a while there where we don't see him, and maybe it's during that period that he's saying that happened.
But he's getting. It's interesting because it's like he's like, all right, I will literally deliver them. I will break through your security and land my ship on your plane, on your giant space star cruiser, and then I'll get. We'll sneak past the guards, and then we'll get to the within an arm's distance of the tracking thing. Then you get him. Like, it's a weird kind of. Rather than showing up and being like, hey,
why would they just get him as soon as they land?
Yeah.
I'm
going to show up with these guys and try to break through the shield. When we do that, just throw a tractor beam around them and you can have them,
The confusion here is that you're assuming that they met with, he got caught by the First Order. He got caught by Lucasfilm, and it was better for the story.
Go. Right.
Kathleen Kennedy.
I was suspicious of him from the beginning. Are we supposed to be?
It's
Yeah.
It's a
Which
back
is an
and forth
interesting
kind of a
choice.
thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they're trying to go for like a Lando Calrissian, famous for as the inventor of California raisin bread.
Right.
That they're trying to make you think, oh, is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy?
Okay.
And like, smart Alex like ourselves will be like, well, obviously he's going to turn out to be good because that's just like Lando Calrissian did, and have our expectations undermined.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, the black BB-8 droid, BB-9E for evil.
9E.
Ooh. Oh, I like that a lot.
And on the set, apparently they called him BB Hate.
That's a better.
Yeah.
That's better.
That's funny.
And I
like the way it looks too.
Yeah, I love that in the theater. I love that, like, ooh, evil BB-8. Like, it's so comic booky that I totally popped for it.
And the perfect sort of like, almost looks like a Death Star kind of look, with the circle. And no, good stuff. I almost wish that there was like a face-off between the two BB droids.
Yeah, when you first see him like noticing our heroes, I thought he was going to notice BB-8 first,
right,
and then look to the humans. But they clearly show him look at the humans. I don't know why those humans caught his eye more so than any of the other humans. I feel like it would have been stronger if he was just focusing on.
Well,
like this is some rivalry between the
right.
He's like that evil baby in The Simpsons, that Lisa
Totally.
Simpsons, that Maggie Simpson's always all like about.
Because he even
like you never know what the story is or anything. So
BB-9E even gets that like zoom in. It's like he like, turns and looks, and it's like rant and gets a little zoom in shot. Like, oh, evil. There was more to this, I believe, because this whole sequence was a lot longer. Them kind of sneaking through here. There's a thing where they open the door and they walk through essentially like a cubicle farm where there's a bunch of kind of First Order. It's a very quiet room with like a bunch of First Order people, lower rank, officers
Drones.
just kind of sitting at computers, just like typing. And they're just kind of walking through, minding their own business, trying to keep it cool. And I think there was a little bit more to the story of how they get recognized, and a couple more things happen. And it's on the deleted scenes on Disney Plus, so you can check it out. As usual, I think most of the deleted scenes I like, and I wish I want an extended kind of Lord of the Rings style.
Why don't
cut
they do
of
that?
This. I think I don't know. Unfortunately, I think no matter what they do with this movie, people will yell one way or the other, and so they're reacting. They're reacting too much to what they think is the fan consensus, but it's just a bunch of loud people.
They
I gotta
shouldn't
say,
read the comments.
No,
when I
never
first saw this, when I enjoyed watching it, sort of, was very confused, decided I didn't like it. But then when I rewatched it just the other day, found myself really liking it. So I think maybe if they just not worry about what people think, it'll just settle into, it'll just kind of like, yeah, everything will work itself out. Disney, stop being such a neurotic company. I don't know.
Maybe they'll wait. Maybe it'll be like for the 15-year anniversary or something, when people's emotions have calmed down a bit, and the same way like when Empire came out, apparently everyone hated it when it first came out, and it was very controversial.
Yeah.
And now obviously it's people like it. So
well, I mean, I think that for me anyway, a lot of it is okay. I have my own expectations and my own hopes for what something will be, which the real thing can never live up to. Now sometimes they'll do something different in a way that's surprising and fun, and I like it, but it's so hard for anyone making a Star Wars anything to contend with what my experience with it is and my expectations. But over time, I accept what it is. I think that's what happened, and I'm like, instead of thinking about what I wish it had been, I kind of go, well, that's what it is, and then I can just appreciate it on its own terms. I mean, it's far from perfect, but I'm no longer expecting anything great. I'm just like, it's like, oh, that's
so it's just a matter of lowering the bar more. It's
right.
the key to enjoying Star Wars.
Lower the bar.
I have a question. Is it in this minute that they go across that red catwalk thing? That,
no,
like, red
that's still
grape
coming up.
Oh, I'll hold it then.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna kind of keep going around, and Allison, what's your? How did you feel about this movie? Watching these minutes for this.
These specific minutes, or this movie?
In general, what's your feeling about this movie as of current day?
I enjoyed it. I was struck at the very beginning when it first started. I was struck with this feeling that I haven't had before, which is, I think this is made for kids. Something about it just seemed so much like it's, I don't know, the production quality, the way it was shot, the feeling of it. Maybe it's just because I watch so much more kids stuff now. I was like, oh, is that a piece of this puzzle that I had missed previously, that these are really movies for kids? And
Bingo.
then, so what did you say?
I said bingo. Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
Yeah. And also, I enjoyed it. I felt that I was more invested when it was Rey and Kylo Ren. That story held my interest more. Snoke.
She likes the bad boys.
I was more entertained and able to track that more than the mutiny. Are they safe? I had to ask Daniel what was going on quite a bit with this whole plot and the tracker and light speed and all that stuff. Like the fight, the starship fighting scenes are a little bit they're cool, but I don't care that much. I care more about the characters.
Yeah, it's interesting it's a good movie for that, because they kind of keep that to a minimum. There isn't really a huge space battle, except for the fact that there's a whole starship chase that's the backbone of one thread of the movie. But we don't really have like a ship to ship battle.
Mm-hmm.
I guess crate is the closest we get.
Yeah, and that's short. That's kind of a distraction from what's going on, and it's literally at points.
I'm always stunned by the scale of the ships. I don't know if we're supposed to be, if you are as well. Like when Finn and Rose and BB-8, I guess, enter the bad people's ship through that little grate. It's like they're this tiny little thing in this, onto a huge like hangar or land or ship, I don't know, whatever it is. And that is my deep thought.
I feel like, that's from the people that I've talked to that first saw Star Wars, like, as adults on the big screen, like when it came out. That's one of the things that they will all mention. They're like, oh man, when that ship first came overhead and it was so big, and it was like, and I think that Star Wars in general has just been chasing that dragon ever since, where they're just like, what if we make it even bigger? And then it's like, once you get one, it's just like, yeah, I don't care. It's like, well, it's a bigger ship than that other ship. And like, then that ship crashes and look how small the other thing looks compared to this big thing.
Yeah.
It's like, we get it. It's just bigger and bigger and bigger instead of,
Was it, I think Rogue One, though, was able to capture some of that awe, I think, with the Death Star stuff, where they were looking at the Death Star from the planet. I mean, they've been able to get it a couple times, in my opinion, but you're right. Like, but I almost feel like they're not even really trying hard.
It seems like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially, in the Force Awakens, where they're just like, here's the Death Star, and here's this bigger planet that's also like a Death Star, and everybody's like, ooh. Like,
and the fact that doesn't have as big an impact as the Death Star did, and the Death Star was smaller.
Right.
The opening shot of Star Wars, we were taught in film school about this shot because it's like a textbook example of open space, and in the sense of like composition. And part of the way that they compose the shot magnifies the feeling of how big the ship is. And one of the things with Star Wars was that they would do stuff like that, but in these sequels, they didn't. And to the point where it's like, in the next movie, the opening, I mean, I don't know, who knows what the next movie's like. It's like it's like completely thrown away. They just don't even bother trying to open it with anything that feels like, I don't know, the language of cinema, to be pretentious about it.
Right.
I don't know.
But that, going back to what I was saying about cutscenes, there's another, the opening from this movie was originally, that same, as we've, all the main saga Star Wars movies tend to start with, a shot essentially of a planet or a ship, and then kind of go down or up, and you'll see something else kind of fills in that space, just what you were talking about. But that because that's so much of a Star Wars thing, that they had originally shot the beginning of this movie being like, it comes out into space and you see, and it's a planet just at the bottom of the screen, but then the camera moves and you see that it's not a planet with space behind it. It's Finn in a medical kind of bubble with an open window, not an open window, but a big kind of, picture window behind him. And so they were kind of going to, turn it on its ear a little bit, which I think that should have been in there, but then they thought maybe it was too, I don't want to say it was too jokey to start, because then you just go right into, Finn, Poe making crank calls, but I guess they thought it was messing with the formula too much. I'm not sure why they don't use it. There's deleted scene with director's commentary on Disney Plus that we could. This is not an ad for Disney Plus. They don't sponsor our show, but
I got to figure out how to get that
everything on there.
Part of Disney Plus. I haven't seen any of it. That sounds interesting.
I saw extras.
Though.
I don't think I saw deleted scenes, but I saw extras for the movie.
That sounds interesting, because it's literally the opposite of the original Star Wars, where it's like, this is bigger and bigger and bigger, and holy crap, this is big.
Right.
And this is just like, it's very small. It's just a person. You think it's big, but it's small. I like that. Come on, take some.
Well, so speaking of the character stuff and the Rey stuff, we do cut to. It took me a while to figure out that while we're watching our other guys, we're watching Rose and Finn and BB-8 sneak through, and DJ sneak through. The elevator goes by, and it's supposed to be the elevator that Kylo and Rey are in. Which I didn't put that together until watching it just for this sequence. I was like,
me neither.
Elevator, and they're in an elevator. That must be the same elevator.
I just thought, ooh, cool elevator situation.
You know what sucks about that elevator is, like, clearly it's like one of those elevators you'd see at a hotel where it's like, on the outside you see the elevator, but when you're in it, you don't get the window to see, oh, look, everything's, you can look out the window. It's just got that like mesh, Star Wars-y mesh behind it.
It's the Empire for you.
What did they give you a view?
they just, literally, it's just they cheaped out on building the back of it. The Empire and the First Order, they don't build handrails, they don't build extra walls around stuff.
All right, well, that was the point I was going to make in later this week. Why can't they put a gosh darn railing?
Yeah,
Well,
it's notoriously hazardous for lack of railings.
Yeah.
Lots of open chasms around.
When we first see BB-9E, he's up on the top of one of those like tractor beam, like little catwalk things there. And the fact that he's a rolling droid on that ledge, I was like, oh my gosh, it gave me vertigo just imagining it. So
turn that into an iPhone game. Just BB-9E on the little platform. You have to tilt and tilt.
I just want to see in the background of one of these scenes some like engineer on his hands and knees, like walking across one of those, like I would.
Right.
Or every now and then, like while they're walking across like a regular hallway, somebody falls from 30 stories up.
Right.
It's like the director of operations goes to, Kylo or Hux and is like, I have a way to cut down our fatalities in half. He just has a picture of a line. Like, it's called a handrail.
It's like a Hudsucker proxy. He's like, check it out.
Yes.
It's got to be a pure calculation. Like, all right, how much would it cost to put railings on everything? Okay, how many people do we lose each day?
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
The bottom
Not
line,
worth
it
it
works
yet.
out.
But they build a whole droid that has to stretch the jacket across an ironing board, get that on. You know how hard it is to iron a sport coat? Like, that is not easy. There's lots of like seams and things, as opposed to just putting on a hanger and steaming it. I mean, they do go through the trouble where it matters, I guess.
Well, it is a pretty steamy iron, right? So maybe it's a little
bit of steam setting engaged.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just kind of getting in touch with my ironing side. Every once in a while, it's just like, this would be better if this was ironed. I guess I have to do that, and I've spent a long time in my life just not.
Pete, buy a steamer.
Get a steamer.
Time.
All right.
It'll change your life.
Yeah. I have some information here about other
Steamers?
BB units.
Oh, all right.
Other BB units that exist in the story. We have BB-8 and we have BB-9E.
And we met BB-4 was on the bridge earlier. Before.
Oh, this is like with all the double O's. Like, who's BB-7?
Oh, yeah.
Who's BB-9?
The numbers really seem to be all over the place, and they get very cutesy with them. Well, so getting back to the laundry droid, which was a 5th degree droid, BB-8 is a 2nd degree droid. So he's like higher up the the sentience food chain.
Wait, so who's a first?
I don't know.
Like R2-D2 or
Was
C-3PO?
C-3PO like a first?
C-3PO is probably.
I don't think I think first is a human.
Unless we've never met a first. Yeah.
First is Poe. That's a secret.
Well, the first one on the line was a droid called QT9.
Oh,
QT9. It was invented as a therapy droid.
So it can go on airplanes and stuff.
I think they sponsored my podcast.
And for veterans who fought in the rebellion and after the Battle of Endor, there's a story where someone was given a QT9 droid. The person's like, what? And they're like, would you rather have a therapy Ewok?
With a little orange jacket or a red jacket.
Which makes me wonder if the Ewoks are consulted about that, or is it just like, hey, let's just grab a bunch of Ewoks and bring them with us as, living teddy bears. Phasma has a BB droid called BBK-8. Keep an eye out for that.
Is it Chromie?
I don't know. It does not. I did not write down the information.
All right.
BB-00.
Oh.
This was in a young person's book called Tales of Wild Space, and the writer named the droid BB-00 in honor of his daughter, who he nicknamed Boo. So it's like B. So there you go. That's a case of someone being canon right there. BB-H2O.
Oh, don't like that.
BB-H2O was an exclusive BB unit you could get at the Galaxy's Edge gift shop at Christmas time. I don't know why it's called H2O.
Is it
full
a
of
cup
water
you could drink out of?
So I was going to say, the sand. We were talking about the mouse droid before. At Galaxy's Edge, you can get a mouse droid full of popcorn. So I wouldn't be surprised if you could get a BB H2O, which is a water bottle, like a BB-8 that you can drink out of its head.
Yeah.
Does it roll around on the ground?
What, the sandcrawler?
The mouse droid?
I mean, the mouse droid? What, sandcrawler? Because they're similar shape. Yes, it has wheels and a strap. And so you can walk around with eating popcorn out of it, and then you can bring it home and it wheels around and stuff. So
Wow.
it's not remote control or anything, but it's got very squeaky wheels that my children love to play with.
Does the popcorn spill out when you're pulling a leash and stuff?
You're not supposed to drag it around while it's got food in it. It's got a strap, so you can wear it like over your shoulder and eat popcorn out of it. So it's like a purse almost.
A popcorn purse.
A popcorn purse.
Who doesn't need that?
Everybody's got a popcorn purse these days.
Yeah.
Well, there's also BB Boo 20. That is the Halloween version of the droid.
So Boo 2.0 essentially, so it's H2O but Boo 2.0.
Yeah.
I don't like
green
this
and orange for Halloween.
What?
And
do you have a note about what's the other one that I have a sock of that I always have to look up?
Are you talking about BB6G?
I don't think so.
The problem is that I guess at Galaxy's Edge you can build your own BB units there.
Oh yeah.
And so there's thousands of different permutations. I just went in Wikipedia and put in BB and wrote down all the results. So there's a lot of
there's another one I always forget what it's called, but it's one that I like. It's like a medical droid kind of coloration. It's like a teal, like a dark teal.
What color would you guys want your BB unit to be?
Ooh.
Dark teal.
Dark teal and just solid dark teal?
With a little bit. You got to see this one. Yeah.
Gosh. Do you know how hard it is for me to choose colors? I'm going to go blue and white.
Blue and
like
white.
Delft pottery. Which is like that sort of, dark blue and white.
Honey,
I want a shabby
you
chic
always
BB.
want everything you want is just white with blue design.
Those are
work.
it makes me feel good.
She wants it to look like one of those porcelain vases,
Yeah, everyone else got there already.
Or those little Dutch buildings that you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. I want it to look like Greece.
Greece,
the country.
No, not the movie.
Oh, but that'd be cool too.
That would be. I've been handed an update that the 2BB2 is the one that I always forget.
2BB2.
2BB2 is the one who's kind of like a dark teal, and he's been rolling around on the Radis.
Rolling around on the Radis.
Rolling on the
Who's
Radis.
handing you an update?
My other hand and my computer.
Got a staff.
That's a Creedence Clearwater Revival song.
Yeah, rolling on the Radis.
I think mine would be chrome. I like the Phasma look.
Phasma.
I would do chrome, but I want it painted like the 70s van. I want like there be flames or like a wizard on it or something like that.
Mine would be like a like a Woody station wagon.
Ooh,
oh yeah,
made out of wood.
It's like imitation wood in the kind of the little outline, like where
That's
BB-8
right.
is orange. You could get it kind of
Imitation wood.
Imitation wood grain. Come on.
Yeah.
Why not just have real wood?
Because that's not the motif. That's not the aesthetic that you're looking for. If you're going for that station wagon feel, it's got to be like a vinyl sticker of wood grain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like a avocado or mustard kind of outline.
Right.
What about like a see-through one and you put a little hamster in the bottom of it?
Oh my God. Now you are talking. Like those clear purses.
Yeah,
Speaking of, like a clear popcorn purse. And
you go.
There was a woman, speaking of Disneyland, which I was earlier, we were at Disneyland and I was behind a woman and she had a clear backpack and I could see her, this is like, I could see her little travel toothpaste and toothbrush. And I was like, this feels way too personal.
Yeah.
I don't want to see your toiletries.
Did you judge her on that? Were you like, oh, hey, that brand?
No, I mean, I appreciate that she's taking care of, her oral health, but I'm just saying it was weird.
Are you certain you are not using your X-ray vision?
Oh, God. Yeah, it's weird because I could also see her skeleton. And I was just like, wow.
TMI, lady.
Yeah. So maybe
is that
you're
what
right.
doctors say when they look at X-rays? They go, TMI.
That's right. When they're doing a colonoscopy.
That's
Oh,
right.
TMI.
When I was in high school, and it was the 90s, the grunge kind of a thing, and Dr. Martens boots. Everybody was wearing them. There was a cool
Dr. Martens.
Yeah. There's a cool
Dr. Martens PhD.
There's a cool kind of a clear vinyl one. It was like a dock that you could see through. And
Wow.
and my friend got them. And I was like, those are awesome. Except then, like when your feet sweat or get hot and it fogs up inside, it just looks
Oh,
weird.
wow.
Yeah. So
Wow, like you're trying to be all buttoned up and all cool for your work meeting, and then someone looks down and your feet are steaming.
right. I think that's the scenario. They just like give a perfect presentation at work, and then they put their feet up on the desk because they were so confident, and it was like
Yeah.
everybody's like, your feet are sweaty.
Blow the
So-
negotiation.
Yeah.
Would you be barefoot underneath it, or does it just mean you have to put more work into getting socks?
Well, what do you mean? Like-
Well, like if you're wearing regular shoes, you have to worry about what condition your socks are in. But this guy, everyone's just looking down, and there's basically he's walking around with his socks showing all the
Yeah.
time. So I didn't know if he had to then
So
get
she had to wear good socks,
cool
and
socks.
then her feet were
Right.
sweating too.
yeah.
A lot of pressure on the
I
socks.
never saw this pair of
Yeah.
Dr. Martens.
Mm.
I've got to look them up.
I think I
Were
don't
they
know if it's
prescription?
the same pair, but it was, yeah.
Or over the counter.
Ask your doctor if Martins are right for you. I think they also had glow in the dark soles, but that might have been a different pair.
Hmm.
They were
Wow,
definitely
these sound like rave shoes.
Oh, wow.
yeah. It was just a bright
Yeah.
kind of post. Like where alternative met rave. That's where this stuff started to happen.
Mm. I remember this phase.
Hmm.
So we get a little bit of Kylo Ren and Rey hanging out in the elevator as
The-
they go up, not
Rey-levator.
not enjoying the view.
Kylo Vader. The Vader. It's because they're talking. I don't know.
Raylo
I'll
Vader, is that
workshop
what you
it
said?
until tomorrow. Yeah, the Raylo Vader. There you go.
The
That's
dark
what I was looking
elevator.
for.
Yeah. And the scene kind of reminds me of the scene in Return of the Jedi where Luke is trying to convince Darth Vader that he is also still good and that he's, can
Yeah.
turn him.
Right.
But yeah, this scene seems so much like you were saying, like a good girl really trying to convince a bad boy not, to kind of like that she can change him and totally, she's like, you won't turn evil. No, you won't. It won't happen.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, and then he plays this. It's in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow he plays a card, but like she does play one good card here. This is all cards for some reason. He definitely gives her a look, like he's startled when she calls him Ben. That
yeah.
they're talking, and he's like, no, you're gonna be good. You're not. You're gonna turn. You're gonna come with me, Ben. And he's like, what? Like, who knows
Right.
when the last time somebody called him Ben was, because he's just
Right.
like he's almost forgotten, and so it like pulled him into.
I bet all
out
the
of
other
his kind of-
Imperials make tease him by calling him Ben.
Right. Well, now they all
like
know.
Ben. Oh, sorry, Kylo. Grumpy about it.
Yeah, like when one of your friends, like their mom calls and refers to them by their household nickname, and all of a sudden
Yeah.
everybody just calls them that for a little while.
Mhm.
Now, why isn't he a Darth?
I think this is a different discipline. It's not a.
They're not Siths.
Yeah,
He's
they're not dealing in Siths. They're
Oh.
absolutely not dealing in Siths.
Wait,
I thought he was
that.
Sith.
Wait, I thought
Daniel.
that. I don't know.
It
See,
could be. It's all very, like we've all got just different version of the same. It's like it's not the Empire, it's the First Order. It's not the Rebellion, it's the Resistance. And it's like, well, he's kind of a dark Jedi, but he's not really a Sith. So it's like, who
But
knows?
wait,
Yeah.
but isn't Snoke, like Snoke knows what he is, right? Like he knows that he didn't have a childhood, that he just like emerged from a giant vat of green goo.
We don't know what Snoke knows.
Well,
No. Nobody knows what Snoke knows.
but is Snoke so? Wait, but Snoke.
No one's as woke as Snoke.
But Snoke is of the Sith. He may not know he is of the Sith.
Well, we find out he's created by Palpatine, so yeah, I
Yeah.
guess by that,
He's from
in
a
that
Sith
sense, he
planet.
is.
But has
But
it?
technically,
I see. So like the Knights of Ren and all of that. That's just like we're just saying this is a whole different thing. This isn't Darth anything.
Yeah.
But how are we supposed to know that?
I think there's 3 levels of it. You have to back up a level in that we're not supposed to know that. We're not supposed to care about it either. The problem is so much of us,
I'm
so many
right
of us
there.
are in the level.
I've
Yeah, there you
achieved
go.
this.
But I do. I'm sorry for caring.
I know. I'm there too often where it's just like, wait a minute, what about that? And luckily, I mean, we end up getting to discuss a lot of it, and we end up getting told a lot of the stories about what the deal is without having to do the work of reading books and comic
Oh.
books and all that. Which I mean, I love to read books, but I don't often find myself reading Star Wars books. So when somebody tells me what happened in the Star Wars book, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
I am actually now confused, but I just want to say when she touches his hand and she's like, when she tells him, when I touched your hand, I saw your future. That's this minute, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That is like drunk girl at a party.
Mm.
If anyone ever said that to me, I would be like, I can't get away from you fast enough. I mean, it makes, within the context of the story, it makes sense.
Honey, we were at a party. I think someone did say that to you.
Oh my God, yes. This happened to us recently. We had that reaction.
Ray's like, when I touched your hand, I saw your future. Kyla should have been like, are you okay? Do you need a ride home? Should
right.
Do you want me to should I call somebody? Do you have a car?
Like, oh, please don't tell me.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I have for minute 92. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, this conversation kind of continues in the elevator into tomorrow. We have another revelation or two. So
I can't wait. I can't wait to come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Can you guys both? Daniel, can you come back tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll see if I can get off of work.
Okay. Well, if you listeners, you viewers, if you're at StarWarsMinute.com/YouTube, if you can't get enough of us talking about Star Wars, why not go to StarWarsMinute.com/Patreon? Then you can, if you're out of work on the weekend, you want to listen to Star Wars Minute, boom. We got a Sunday show and a Saturday show.
Although if you are out of work, we understand if you don't want to.
I meant out of work, like for the day. If you're out of work,
I see.
If you're out of work, on a permanent basis, then go ahead, just listen to all of our shows. We got like over 1,000 episodes to pour through here, so go for it. But then you might not want to do the Patreon now, but keep it in mind for for the future when your finances are in order. We'll be here. But we'll be here at Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute.